to start this rock and roll magazine.
Robert Christgau,
Natasha's and Lester
John
band,
photograph record magazine.
Paul Williams, you know.
Creem magazine.
So in May of 1969,
Crawdaddy.
San Francisco,
Detroit,
Rolling Stone,
World.
Village Voice.
Hunter Thompson.
Any damn fool can create art. It's the critic who's really important.
I'm from western Nebraska, which is the absolute middle of nowhere.
There were so many rock magazines back then.
The way I found out about stuff was through the magazines.
Rock and roll is a physical medium. Printed word should reflect that too. It should be physical. It should be something you can hold in your hand and feel.
Like $50 to write about a record, and they're giving me the record for free? Fuck yeah, sign me up.
Free records, yeah, lots of free records.
In the 70s, that was sort of the golden age of that.
Did we get any respect as rock writers?
It's like a cat and mouse thing with the critics.
Absolutely.
You started hearing things that weren't hit singles.
All these bands were getting albums out on major labels.
And Agata Davida was never going to be a hit single because it was 18 minutes long.
So the enthusiasm to write about it was, my God, you got to do this.
I'd started thinking there ought to be a rock and roll magazine.
Overnight, Rolling Stone professionalized this whole field.
We were constantly grinding. Every issue was due right away.
6 months later, along with most of the rest of the staff, I was fired.
I could hear boom, boom.
It's really been a piece of shit since 1968.
You didn't get fired if you hit the boss.
Cameron Crowe came down to the station and wound up getting a nice article in Creem magazine.
Probably hardest because he worked for $22.75 a week.
Bomp started out as a fanzine in the purest sense.
Lester Bangs did a piece called James Taylor, Marked for Death.
We had a drafting table and a T-square and rubber cement and a waxer, and we pasted things together on paper boards and we brought them to a printer.
And he got her to expose her breast, So, that was Lester. Paul's like, what, are all of you from Creem magazine? The fact that I got to go on 2 Led Zeppelin tours was like a rite of passage for me.
1967, I wrote the first U.S. review of Jimi Hendrix.
I did the first story in the Police that we ever ran.
One of our early subscribers was Gene Simmons of Kiss.
And Bruce Springsteen walked past all the celebrities and walked to our table, sat down and said, "That's my favorite story."
Joe Strummer took your little portable Sony cassette recorder and
he smashed it. My favorite assignment would probably be George Harrison.
I went on the road with the Ramones in their van, driving through Texas. They were on the tour with the Runaways.
There's a lot of criticism about the music in the 80s and MTV being, responsible for the downfall.
They would spend more money on the video than they would on the actual album.
There was a competition to get access to these artists.
Once MTV came along, it became, okay, you're second or third on the list.
The world has changed. There's nothing new anymore.
There's real rock and roll that's out there, but man, you have to dig for it.